Come on.
Let's go.
Come on. Get in here.
Get it.
Let's go. You ready?
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Oh, there we go.
Oh!
Yeah, let's get it. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, Joe. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ah!
Back in the studio, baby. Wow, that's a disastrous
I
match.
screwed up my part. Wait. We got more? Oh, no.
No,
Nope.
my God.
Here, wait. Dang it, it's not coming out. Let's go. We just made a ginormous mess.
Wow, that's really...
We just made a ginormous freaking mess. All right.
That's a lot of confetti.
It really is. I did not think this through when I bought the confetti poppers at Walmart. But hey, it's... Oh, yeah, we will. We will. Oh, oops.
Jeez.
All right. We're back. We're back in the studio.
Let's go.
Man, this is a ginormous mess. I'm not even kidding.
It's on the camera.
God.
It's on both teleprompters right
Joe, can you clean the camera off? Get the confetti off,
Dust
please.
that stuff off, please.
And then, yeah, over there. But, and then get to the wide shot. But, yeah, as you see Joe cleaning off the confetti there, so I don't get in trouble. And Alex doesn't get in trouble. Obviously. But, yeah, we're back in the studio, back at school. I mean, obviously, probably, you guys saw last week, we were in our dorms. You could probably tell.
Yeah.
But I had the idea about the confetti, and, you know, I thought it was a good idea. I mean, a little delayed reaction. I thought there was going to be more, but.
It's like on my jeans.
But we're back. We're good. You got a little confetti right here.
Oh, snap.
God.
Wow.
All right, some football talk. God.
I have a request.
Yes.
Can we open with the Cowboys? Because
Oh, my goodness. Why would you do this to me?
I have a lot to say. All right. I have
God.
a lot to say about this game.
What was that last play? I'm going to just cut to the chase right now. What was that last play? Seriously. What were they thinking? It is going to be on the worst plays like you see on YouTube. You type in worst plays in NFL history.
It's literally the same as like the Colts fake punt against the Patriots with Pat McAfee and Griff Whalen.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. Okay. First, I'll let you go first. What do you got? What do you got, Alex?
All right,
What do you got?
so we're going to get to it here. The Dallas Cowboys finished out divisional round weekend against the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara. Dak Prescott had a horrible, absolute disaster class of a football game. He went 23 for 37, 62%, not horrible. 206, a touchdown, and 2 absolutely atrocious interceptions. Zeke had 10 carries for 26 yards. Tony Pollard had 6 for 22 before he broke his fibula. CeeDee Lamb had a monster game, 10 for 117 through the air. Schultz had the only passing touchdown of the game. He had 5 for 27 and a touchdown. The Cowboys had a total of 76 team rushing yards, which we all know when the Cowboys don't run the ball at least 50% of the time, they lose football games. In the past 3 weeks, Dak Prescott has played 2 rookie quarterbacks. In those 2 games, he has gone 37 for 74, which is 50% exactly, for 334, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, and 2 losses. What year was Tom Brady drafted, Mike? 2000?
I think so.
Round 6,
2000?
pick 199 of the 2000 NFL draft, I believe. I would put money that in the 22 years since Tom Brady has been drafted, there has never been a 3-week span where a quarterback has lost to 2 rookie quarterbacks but managed to beat Tom Brady in a football game. I would put Vegas level money on that never ever happening before. Let's see, 49ers stats wise, Brock Purdy continues to play very consistently, 19 for 29 for 214 yards, no touchdowns, but most importantly, no turnovers. Kittle had 5 catches for 95 yards. He killed the Cowboys over the middle of the field. Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey were both bottled pretty well. Deebo had 4 catches for 45 yards. McCaffrey had 10 attempts for 35 yards and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell had 14 rushes for 51 yards. So overall, most of the San Francisco offense was handled very well as they only scored 19 points, which is usually, when your defense allows that little points, it's usually enough to win the football game. But them Cowboys, baby, disaster class playoff game against San Francisco again. So
Didn't I literally said this. The Cowboys are the Yankees of the NFL. They get these big names, these good players. I would say they got a good team, I would say.
Tom Brady would win that game with that roster.
Yes, but they can't win the big one.
No.
They never can. They just never can. And I don't know. I mean, first of all, I was flabbergasted with that last play still. I want to go back to that last play. You knew they were going to probably do a lateral, but like, did you stop to think for 1 second, maybe the 3 defensive linemen that were on the line, we're going to get past one Ezekiel Elliott? Or wasn't he on center? Under center?
Zeke, yeah. It was Zeke. He snapped the ball.
What? Like, what was that? What was that? I'm gonna go back and screen record this part later for a meme, but like, I didn't understand it. Like, of course they were gonna get to Dak, and then your only option was the guy that was available, probably like 3 yards ahead of him, I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, I figured they were going to do some stupid formation like that. I figured it was probably going to be some kind of screen to the outside where, the blockers were. I don't even know. Yeah. Lamar Jackson won an MVP award with a less talented offense, in my opinion. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Lamar Jackson is also a significantly different type of quarterback than Dak Prescott, but still. A guy that, in his first season of actually being able to throw the ball in the NFL, won a Most Valuable Player award with a less talented offense. And granted, did he break the single season quarterback rushing yard record? Sure. That's a big deal. That's a big, big deal. It was held by Michael Vick, a big-time rushing quarterback, but still, less talented offense. He still put up numbers. And he sure as heck did not lead the league in interceptions in 12 games.
How about them Cowboys? That's all I can say for now. Is how about them Cowboys? God, I don't even know what else to say about this.
I'm flabbergasted.
I don't even know what else to say about this, but
I think we should just move on.
Yeah,
there's some better games to talk about than this.
We're gonna move on. The Kansas City-Jacksonville game. Jacksonville was close, but okay. I mean, throughout the game, it was a little bit of a bigger lead, but like, obviously, if you just look at the score, you see it was just by 1 touchdown. But yeah, I mean, I wrote down some stats. I can say them too, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Mahomes, 22 for 30, 195 yards. Chad Henne. The playoff goat, I would say. Playoff goat.
Second time he's come in and basically saved a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Playoff goat. 5 for 7, 23 yards. Okay.
Threw a touchdown in there. I think it was to Kelsey.
Now, Pacheco.
I think they've got their guy.
Mr. Pacheco. 12 carries for 95 yards. And then Kelsey got the ball 14 times, 98 yards, which is Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's just crazy.
Yeah, and then Trevor Lawrence, 24 for 39, 217 yards. Okay. Zay Jones got the ball 5 times, 85 yards. Okay. And then Christian Kirk got the ball 7 times, 52 yards. Do you think that, okay, when Jacksonville gets Calvin Ridley, I think they're going to be a playoff team, in my opinion.
They are going to be a very solid playoff team in the coming years with that offense.
They're going to be a very good playoff team.
Especially considering they'll probably use the first and second round to make improvements to their secondary and their offensive line, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the Lawrence threw for 217. Mm-hmm. Henne and Mahomes combined for 218. Both teams rushed for like 140 yards, I want to say. The big difference is, one, the Chiefs had 35 minutes time of possession to the Jags 24 minutes. And 2, Lawrence threw a pick and Agnew fumbled on a really key red zone drive that the Chiefs ended up picking up. So take those 2 turnovers away, or Harrison Butker really clutch tackle on Jamal Agnew before that fumble on that drive. I mean, that was a touchdown.
Yeah.
If Harrison Butker didn't get his foot on Jamal Agnew's ankle, that was a touchdown.
I agree.
Lawrence just didn't quite get enough air on the pick that he threw, but that was also a sweet play by the Kansas City defensive back with the one-handed pick. Yeah, I mean, total yardage-wise, you look at Jacksonville 349, Kansas City 362. They're really close teams in terms of how well they did. 7 for 13 on third down for Jacksonville, 6 for 12 on third for Kansas City. So they played really evenly, but still going to be repping the Titans jersey because, we went into Arrowhead and lost by less with Malik Willis. So
Hey, I like my jersey because
yeah.
O'Neal Cruz. And if I stumble on my words a little bit, I'm just distracted with the amount of confetti that is on the ground. There's it's in the lights, which I have no idea how we're gonna get it down.
Crap.
I guess we'll use that ladder. I don't know if we're allowed to, but I'm starting to regret this confetti thing. I'm not gonna lie, but we got the okay as long as we clean it up. So.
I mean, it's backed by Joe over there, sitting on his floor director seat.
It's on the cameras. I can see it. Nothing's broken. Nothing's
no,
broken.
It's like a solid 15 feet away from me to Joe right now, and there's confetti right behind him.
I can see Richie through the glass just going, "Oh boy, I'm about to dip once
He's like,
the show's
just
over."
rubbing the shoulders. He's like, "Oh well."
Oh well. I mean, it's my idea, and I got the all right, so
Yeah.
we're good. We're good. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for the Jacksonville game. I mean, I think Jacksonville will be back. They will be back.
Yeah, their defense looked really good at some points and then looked really vulnerable at some points. That's just going to come with they don't really have a number one corner right now. C.J. Henderson left this past season, I'm pretty sure. So, again, they'll make some improvements on the roster this coming off season. Doug Peterson's a very good head coach, and they'll be adding Calvin Ridley off his suspension. So
he's going to be a beast. This team's going to be really good.
Yep.
They're going to be really good.
They are going to be a very solid football team.
Yep.
Do we want to move on to the most boring game of the week, I guess?
Which would be the
Giants at Eagles, yeah.
Now, before you read the stats, I want to mention this. The Giants free agents there's a lot of free agents, but I would say these are the three key ones. Daniel Jones.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
Sterling Shepard. I think Shepard will stay, considering he didn't play this year.
Yeah.
Barkley, I think he'll stay. I think he'll get that extension and he'll stay. But Daniel Jones?
He's the big question mark for me too.
Yes, he had a great game against the Vikings, but this game?
We knew the Vikings were kind of frauds.
Yeah.
So
but this game?
Completed 56% of his passes for 135 yards and a pick. Not very good. I think the big question is going to be, do the Giants retain Daniel Jones, or do they jump into the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes, or the Derek Carr sweepstakes, or the Jimmy Garoppolo sweepstakes, presumably, or the Tom Brady sweepstakes? One of these quarterbacks is destined to go to New York, in my opinion. I think pairing Brian Dable as a play caller with Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley would be a league breaker, personally, because Brian Dable is a very savvy offensive play caller when it comes to being a head coach. So we'll see. They could sign all three. They could be all on the Daniel Jones train, but he was drafted before Dable's time, and the new GM, I'm pretty sure, right? They just fired, what's-his-face the past year or something like that. I forget his name because he sucked so bad.
Yeah, I forget his name.
They owe Daniel Jones nothing. They didn't draft him. They didn't do any of that, so we'll see if he stays. But, I mean, the Giants just couldn't consistently move it. Saquon had 9 for 61 on the ground, which is, good. 6.8 yards per carry. That's over half a first down per carry. Richie James was their leading receiver with 7 catches for 51 yards. And then, in terms of Philly, Jalen Hurts has just continued to be very accurate and just delivering exactly when he needs to. And 16 for 24 for 154 and 2 touchdowns. He also had 9 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown on the ground. So, 188 total yards and 3 total touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. But most importantly, again, he continues to not turn the ball over, which is going to be huge for them because, as we saw against Dallas, they turned the ball over twice and they still just squeaked out with a win at home. So San Francisco is going to have to go to Philly, and we'll get to that more later. But this is going to be the battle of Jalen Hurts, who barely turns the ball over, and San Francisco, who is with a 7th round rookie quarterback, kind of dependent on those turnovers in a way. But Philly really just, ran New York off the field. Kenneth Gainwell had 12 attempts for 112 yards and a touchdown. That's 9.3 yards per carry. And then Miles Sanders had 17 carries for 90 yards, which is 5.3 yards per carry. Devontae Smith, 6 for 61 and a touchdown through the air. And Dallas Goedert had 5 for 58 and a touchdown through the air as well. He played a really good game. I think he's a really solid tight end. And again, the Giants just couldn't do anything about it. They got outgained 416 to 227 in total yards. Philly ran for 268 yards as a team, went 10 for 14 on third down, and had 35 minutes time of possession. The Giants just couldn't even see the light of day in this game. Philly just ran the ball, took the ball away once or twice, and they never let the Giants on the field, basically. They played a really good game, and I think they're really kind of cementing themselves as a very strong suitor to win the Super Bowl this year, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. They were the one team that was in everybody's predictions like halfway through the season and all that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles won, but
yeah, me either.
Yeah. So all right, Bills and Bengals. The most important thing, in my opinion, out of all of this, is that Joe's saying something in the back. Damar Hamlin was in attendance at the game.
He was.
Best part about the whole game is that he was there in attendance. But the Bills did not win, though, sadly.
Nope.
The Bengals did win. So, and before you get to your stats, Stephon Diggs, after the game, darted out of the locker room with all his stuff before the coaches got back. And somebody did bring him back, but, I would understand where he's coming from. This is the third time where he had a heartbreaking loss in the playoffs. I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So that's something. I don't think anything's gonna come out of that, but it is definitely worth something to keep your eye on, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so too.
So what do you got for that game?
First of all, it's tough for me to process the fact that Sean McDermott's been the coach of this team for 6 years, and they just still have not been able to fix the run game or the offensive line in general. Kansas City fixed it in a year. Patrick Mahomes got absolutely exposed against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, and they lost 31-9 when Patrick Mahomes ran for something like 300 yards behind the line of scrimmage during the game. They fixed it in a season. Buffalo has had 6 seasons, and they have failed to fix it. We'll get to that in a second. Joe Burrow had a great game, 23 for 36 for 242 and 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon had a great game as well, 20 for 105 and a touchdown on the ground, 5.2 yards per carry. Jamar Chase and Hayden Hurst, the top 2 receivers, both had a receiving touchdown with 5 receptions for each of them as well. Chase had 61 yards and Hurst had 59. And then again, just another game where Josh Allen leads the Bills in rushing, and it's not like he's putting up crazy numbers. He's not putting up Lamar Jackson numbers. He went 25 for 42 for 265 and a pick, and again led the team with 8 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown on the ground. So he finished with 1 touchdown in total and an interception. Devin Singletary was the next rusher on the team with 6 carries for 24 yards, which is absolutely disgusting. Dawson Knox had 5 for 65, and Diggs got absolutely bottled with 4 receptions for 35 yards. Bengals outgained the Bills 412 to 325 in total yards. Bills had 63 team rushing yards, which again is absolutely an atrocity. Bengals went 6 for 10 on third down. Bills went 4 for 12, really. And the Bengals had 33-54 on the time of possession. So, again, they can't run the ball. They can with Josh Allen, but they still didn't do it. I don't know. I'm concerned for the Bills. They look really electric. They might be... I don't want to say this because I love Josh Allen. And I think when he's on his game, he's a top 2 quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, boy, let's hear it.
But if they keep playing this way and fail to fix the run game and fail to have a balanced offense, they're just going to be like Dallas. They're going to be a fantastic regular season team. They're going to flash. They're going to put up 40, 50 burgers against garbage teams like the freaking New York Jets without Zach Wilson or, with whoever the heck their quarterback is. Or the
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Drop 38 points on the Steelers or go to Kansas City and win. And then it comes playoff time and they just can't do anything. It's kind of been the way it's been. They made it to the AFC Championship, 2 years ago now, but they've gotten knocked out earlier and earlier every single year since then, and they just aren't. You can't have a football team that can't run the ball, in my opinion. That's all it comes down to. They have had a lot of time to fix this offensive line. Everything else is great. They developed defensive players, fantastic, but they can't run the ball.
They can't.
They don't have a good running back. Devin Singletary is their best running back on the roster. Then you have James Cook, who probably has 5 carries all season, and 3 or 4 of them are probably fumbles. I don't know. I'm worried for the Bills. They're going to be a great regular season team, but they just can't get it done in the playoffs.
I agree. Oh my God!
Lord.
He just dropped his notebook and confetti just went on the
flew
ground
everywhere.
even more.
Yeah, it's just going to have to all get picked up anyway.
Man. I'm not nervous about this. I'm just nervous about the stuff that's up there.
Yeah, that's a little concerning.
It is a little concerning. I don't know if we can. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. You guys watching, you don't have to worry about it, but we do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll get to a coaching decision in a little bit. But of course, obviously, unless you're not that bright. The AFC Championship will be the Chiefs and Bengals, and the NFC Championship will be the 49ers and Eagles. Now, I do want to say this, if I remember, of course. Next week, I will tally up all of our rapid-fire predictions from the season, and we'll see who is winning. If by some chance it is tied, we will do a score prediction for the Super Bowl. I'd say that's fair.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, let's do that.
The odds of it being tied and probably low, but yeah, those are the games. I'm excited for the Chiefs and Bengals again, and 49ers and Eagles too. These are going to be some good games. Overall, I'm probably going to go Chiefs and 49ers rematch, probably.
It's definitely possible.
I would say. I don't know if the Bengals will beat the Chiefs. They did show that they're a good team because they beat the Bills, obviously.
In the snow at Buffalo.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what Pat Mahomes, who is playing, by the way, with a high ankle sprain, he is playing. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, I think. It's going to be a good game.
I was going to say, actually, I forgot to make this point earlier, but if you were a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you were probably rooting for the Buffalo Bills yesterday because the Chiefs can beat the Bills in the postseason. Patrick Mahomes has not beaten Joe Burrow yet. He is 0-3, 0-4 against Joe Burrow in his career, including, I think, just the championship last year, right?
Yeah.
This is the only time he's beat Mahomes in the postseason. Either way, Mahomes is 0-3 against Burrow, and he has not lost to Josh Allen in the playoffs. So if you were a Chiefs fan, you were probably rooting for Buffalo to win yesterday because for some reason the Bills just can't beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead whenever it comes to the playoffs. But these are going to be 2 very good games. I don't think the Niners beat the Eagles, but I think it's going to be a great championship weekend next weekend, and then it's going to be a great Super Bowl. And I'm also incredibly excited to watch Peyton and Eli Manning coach the 2 Pro Bowl flag football teams.
Oh, that's going to be good.
That's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be cinema.
It is going to be cinema.
It is going to be
absolutely
cinema.
True.
Oh, man. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with the AFC and NFC championship games. I think they'll be good games, but Matt Canada. He's staying put. Joe is staying put. Joe is staying put. But Matt Canada is not going anywhere. Why? Yes, they improved. Okay. The Steelers improved.
A good bit.
Yes, they improved towards the end of the year. But Matt Canada is not a good offensive coordinator. Okay? Like, why? You saw the struggles. That they had with jet sweeps, which some jet sweeps have worked, but they're the same plays still.
Not to Gunnar Olszewski, though. Like,
Yeah.
can we please stop giving him the jet sweeps?
Unless you want to do it, unless you want to give it to Connor Hayward, that's fine. You want to give it to Connor Hayward, that's fine. But jet sweeps to Gunnar, running the same plays, not taking shots downfield in the middle of the field more often. Like, okay, Alex, what was the thing you texted me about Doug Peterson during the Chiefs game?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this actually. Not many coaches in the modern day NFL will go out and run a quarterback sneak on 2nd and 1.
What's the objective in a football game other than, like, to get to the touchdown? What do you got to do?
You got to get first downs.
Yeah.
You got to convert. If it's 2nd and really short, 2nd and 1, 2nd and half a yard, maybe even 2nd and 1.5 yards, why not run a quarterback sneak? Mm-hmm. No team's expecting it on 2nd and short. Especially if you get a good run play on 1st and 10 and get it to 2nd and 1, most teams are going to be expecting a play action and they're going to expect a shot down the field.
Yeah.
Why not run a quarterback sneak on 2nd and 1? That to me reminded me why Doug Peterson is a really good football coach and why he absolutely never should have lost his job in Philadelphia. That's for maybe a different day to talk about that.
Yep.
But
Yep. And there you go. There you go.
Everything I just said is exactly what Matt Canada isn't. So that's why he needs to be fired.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. But, okay. The Atlanta Hawks. This is where Alex falls asleep.
Dead.
Well, here's the thing. They had a 5-game winning streak before their loss against the Hornets the other day.
Okay.
They had a 5-game winning streak. Yes. So, I've talked about their problems this season, and it's no secret. It's not their best year. Trae Young hasn't been himself, in my opinion. But this was a good 5-game win streak. It was, after everything that's happened. Their first game, they beat the Indianapolis Pacers. Trae Young was their top scorer with 26 points.
It's a solid performance.
And then they beat the Toronto Raptors with 29 points by the top scorer, Trae Young. And then they beat the Miami Heat as my GOAT Murray, DeAndre Murray, was the top scorer in that, 28 points. And then the Dallas Mavericks, Murray again, with 30 points. And then their last win in their 5-game win streak, Murray was the top scorer again, 29 points. So
they can score.
With Young and Murray, yeah. Now I'm going to look up on my phone the last time the top scorer wasn't Trae Young or DeAndre Murray as I continue to discuss the Atlanta Hawks here. But they're now 24 and 23. So they're back up above 500.
Right above 500, yeah.
Yep. Their next game is against the Thunder, I want to say, on Tuesday, tomorrow. I almost said Tuesday, like it's like a couple of days ahead, but yeah. So we're coming up on the All-Star break, and usually we'll see what happens if they get hot after. In my opinion, of what is going on this year, I think they'll be in the play-in games for the playoffs. But hey, I mean, that's making it into the playoffs. It is what it is. But yeah, so, and my phone's not working, so unfortunately I can't look up the last time the top scorer wasn't Murray or Young the last time that happened. But yeah, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be real. The Pacers, Raptors, Heat, Mavericks, Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are okay, all right. They're not the best teams in the NBA, but they're still solid wins. I mean, when you drop 30, I would say that's still a pretty solid performance.
I would agree.
And then they lost, and of course, to break their win streak, they lost to the Hornets, 122 to 118.
Close game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I didn't really watch the game because I was at a wrestling show over the weekend, and I'm pretty sure they were in the lead almost all game. So, yeah, that's a frustrating loss. It is, but as long as they just stay consistent with these wins and make it to the postseason, then that's fine by me. That is fine by me. And I would like to talk about the owner of the Hawks. That's also for another time. But yeah, so I'm pretty thrilled about the Hawks. I would say I'm pretty thrilled about the Hawks.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. For our final segment on the show this week, time to talk about some hockey.
Time to talk about some hockey.
Man, I am stumbling. But again, Look at the confetti. Look at the confetti. But, okay, so last week, before the Ducks game, I predicted they were going to lose. Ian, Bryce, and I think you predicted they were going to win?
Yeah, I believe so.
They all predicted they were going to win. I predicted that they were going to lose. They almost lost to the Ducks. Man, oh man. I was texting Ian the whole
And it took some like super late game heroics, didn't it?
Yeah, I was texting Ian. I was like, they're gonna lose to the Ducks, aren't they?
It's insane.
I was like, they're gonna lose to the Ducks. Man, what do you got on do you got anything on the?
I don't have any stats written down, but Jari's back. First of all.
Yes.
Let's go.
Jari's back. No
Thank the
DeSmith.
Lord.
No DeSmith.
Other night we beat Ottawa, 4-1?
Yes.
Were we at home?
4-1, and Jari made his 46th save. Let's go. It said that's what it said on ESPN, which I don't know. I mean, Jari's been on the team for a few years.
Yeah, he has been.
So I guess 46 does make sense, but yeah, Jari's back. I think that's better for the Penguins.
Yeah.
In this case.
And then they just lost
to the Devils.
In overtime, 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to beat teams in your division, but they're still in it. They're still in the race. And I think Ian said it last week on the show, the Pens tend to get hot after the All-Star game.
Yes, they do. That is a fact.
That's going to be coming up pretty soon here. So we'll see. I mean, they're going to have some time to rest and put everything together, and Jari's back. Everyone's going to be healthy, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
And hopefully we can put together one more run for the old dudes. I mean, I hate to call them old because they're in their 30s, but, Malkin and Crosby and Letang. And, I mean, that's the trio you really want to see win another cup together before they retire or, go to another team like Michael Jordan went to the Wizards at the end of his career, but,
Yeah, and that's going to bring me to my next point. Yes, I want them to draft players to prepare when Crosby, Letang, and Malkin are gone. But at this point, with the amount of wins you've had all year, you hope for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You hope for the playoffs at this point. And honestly, too, bro, Zucker is good.
I like Zucker.
Ian was right. He brings this sort of energy to the team, and yeah. So I think we got our first guy.
I think so too.
You draft another guy this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be real, I don't think the Pens are gonna win the cup because I think it's the Bruins.
The Bruins are killing like everybody right now.
Yes, the Bruins are really good, so that's just gonna be tough to get past the Bruins. And so yeah, you draft somebody this offseason. Maybe you get another guy in the draft again. I'm gonna assume Crosby. I don't think this will be their last season.
I don't think so.
I think they'll be back next year. So you could draft another guy next offseason. So then you got Zucker, and then the next 2 first-round picks you have. So and you could always make trades.
Mm-hmm.
You can always make trades.
Always make trades too.
I don't know who you would trade. I don't think they're gonna trade any of those 3 guys. They're definitely not gonna trade Crosby. That's out of the question.
No.
Malkin either. Letang probably not. But like, I mean, for example, what if like Brian Russ got hot? Like really, really. Like,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
And then you could see what you could get out of him, and then boom, you got your another guy. But I mean, that's what I pretty much said before the season, dude. I said they got to prepare when Crosby, Letang, and Malkin are gone.
And the good thing is, it's not like they're not deep in terms of talent right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just mentioned Rust. I'm a big fan, honestly, of Teddy Bluger. I like the
him.
guy.
Yep.
Gensel, all these. There's
Gensel,
all kind of.
Yep. Gensel.
There's all kind of talents. How did we forget about Gensel?
Yeah. We're fake fans.
We are fake fans.
We're fake fans. We're fake fans.
But they have a lot of depth. Like they genuinely do. They have, they've got their big guys. You got the veterans. You got Crosby. You got Malkin. You got Letang. You got them. But then you got Russ. You got Bluger. You got Gensel. You got all these guys. Zucker. All these guys that can play.
Cut Dumoulin.
Yeah. I really liked Dumoulin at one point, but
he's just not. He is ever since his surgery. He
hasn't been the same.
Yeah, he has not been the same.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, let's go Pens. Let's go Pens. That's pretty much what I got. All I got on the pens. You got anything else you want to add on to before we close it out?
Like we said, All-Star game break.
Mm-hmm.
Get healthy, get hot.
Yep.
Make a nice deep playoff run, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. See what happens.
We will.
We will see what happens. And I mean, we it's kind of funny because we have ran like an hour last 8, so this is we're cutting these down a little bit. And yeah, so before we head out, again, it's good to be back.
It's great
It
to
is
be back.
great to be back. And I don't know why I keep touching your knee. I'm sorry.
We're a little close together.
Yeah, a little close. And just like the confetti all over the floor. It's good to be back. And I will say, if we didn't start this talk show, I don't know where any of us would be. What would we be doing right now? Probably sitting in our room and doing nothing. Probably studying and whatever. So, I would consider this as like an escape, kind of, to
Absolutely.
have fun. Because like this is what you see on camera here. What you see on like when you're watching on YouTube is literally Alex and I. Say we're at Van eating lunch or dinner. We talk about sports there, like we are here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we don't go into detail of, Trevor Lawrence was 24 for 39, 217. We just go, yeah, man, the Jags, they're going to be back. Like that. So, it's good to be back. And we filmed some content for your vlog.
We did.
So that'll be coming out soon. And more stuff to come out for the Tailgate Talks brand. And the Alex Brown vlog words are hard. Alex Brown vlog brand. Nailed it first try. But yeah, so it's good to be back. So we're going to send it home. And we're going to clean up this confetti. This disaster. It was worth it. For the views, hopefully for the views, it was worth it. Just like me landing on my neck at the trampoline park. We don't got to talk about that. We don't got to talk about that. But yeah, we're going to start cleaning up this confetti before the next class comes in and figure out how we're going to get the confetti off of the ceiling or whatever. And then we're going to be back with you with another episode of Boro Tailgate Talks next week here in Compton Hall in studio. I think it's 109A, I want to say. Something like that. So yeah, we will see you next week. Boom!